What's going on, guys? I am back today. I am doing something a little different today. Doing a lot of that lately, especially with the New Year's coming in a day or so. I am changing it up a lot. So today I'm actually doing some tech news. I'm not the best at this, so bear with me. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, I got about 10 things I'm gonna talk about today. Let me know how I can do this different at the end of this. Just put it down in the comments below. Smash the like button if you did like this kind of stuff, because I want to do more of this and more reactions, more tech news, all kinds of stuff like this. So let me know. But yeah, first thing I'm gonna start off with is KFC. Everybody knows that brand. Everybody, restaurant. Everybody knows that place. They have gone there at least once in their life. I actually used to work there. That was my very first job. But yeah, they actually made a gaming PC. Yeah, the fast food chain decided to compete with all the consoles that nobody can get a hold of. They made a gaming PC with a chicken warmer in it. I mean, that's kind of cool. You can get greasy with that PUBG controller that nobody can get a hold of anymore. But yeah, it was started off as a joke. It was a trailer that they did. Well, how long ago was that? Like maybe a year ago almost. But yeah, I mean, who's laughing now? They made it in a NUC. So it has a Barracuda 1TB SSD. It has so supposedly it can support 4K at up to 240 frames. So I mean, possibly a 3090, maybe a Ryzen 9 or an i9. But I mean, that's kind of cool. I'm wondering how they're keeping the thermals of the chicken warmer away from the actual PC. That's what I'm wondering. So I'm ready to see what the actual specs of this thing are, because they haven't released them yet. So hopefully they're pretty decent, because I mean, that's a bold claim, 4K at 240. So I mean, I'm ready to see it. Next thing is the AirPods Max. So those are pretty new and very well priced. I mean, I'm not an Apple fan person by any means. I'm not someone that is going to go out and buy the first thing that comes out. Now, of course, I'd love to get a review sample, but I'm not up there yet. Hopefully one day. But it's the newest addition to the AirPod line, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they are getting a lot of rave reviews. I'm a big audiophile, so I mean, I would love to test them out. I'm not gonna spend $550. Yeah, by the way, they're $550. I'm not gonna be spending that kind of money on something that I'm not gonna use. I use my Sonys. I use my Galaxy Buds. I use my Jabras. So I use all of my headphones that I buy, and I wouldn't use those. I mean, the case alone looks like a purse. So there's no need in buying something that I'm not going to use. But I mean, they have some really nice features. I mean, they have a very solid build. Apparently, they're stainless steel actual what are they? What are those little like lugs, or the little thing that hold the ear cups in place, the little poles? They have apparently a very solid mechanism as far as moving it goes. People are kind of blown away about the headband. The mesh headband is apparently very comfortable, or at least comfortable enough. They have removable ear cups, which, I mean, it's kind of cool. You can mix and match them, but it's not very practical. I guess you might want to replace them every now and then, but it's not practical. And then, of course, they have the noise canceling, and they apparently do a very good job of it. They're still not Sony level, very close though. Because yeah, I love my WH-1000s. Work great for me. Do everything I need, and they have amazing sound quality. But yeah, let me know if you're gonna be picking up a pair, because I'm definitely not gonna be doing that. I just have no need for them. All right, next thing up is the GPU and CPU shortage. GPU being the 3090 and the 6000 series for AMD and NVIDIA, and then AMD particularly their 5000 series CPUs. Well, I mean, with the paper launch of both of them, it wasn't the best for consumers like me. Since I'm a content creator, I would love to have me a newer processor, newer GPU, especially the 30 series. I aim for the 3080 just so I can stream and game on the same PC and have no issues. Because I mean, I have some limitations, but it's first world problems. But yeah, NVIDIA had probably one of the worst launches in history of GPUs, just because as soon as they were available, they were gone and haven't been available since. I've met a few people that have been lucky enough to get one, seen some coming through work, but it's just been bad. You can't get a hold of them. Scalpers and bots are just horrible right now, and they're heartless people. Because I mean, there's some people that need this for work or need this to get content to you guys. So it sucks. If you are one of those scalpers, please stop. Or like, don't charge double. I understand $50-$60 more, but $1,000 for a $700 GPU? Come on now. We still don't know when it's really going to be over whenever it comes to the shortage. I was reading up on it, and they were saying it's a short of GDDR6X memory that nobody can really get a hold of. So that is one reason why production hasn't really ramped up, just because they can't get a hold of that or produce it fast enough. So I mean, I don't know if that's true. Let me know in the comments if you did, if you have heard anything about that, or if you know anything really. But I mean, this sucks for people who really don't have a GPU or can't upgrade yet. Because I mean, like for instance, if you have a 2080 Ti, leave it alone. You're set. You're good. I mean, that's still a very relevant card. I have a 2070 Super. It does me justice. I have no complaints right now. I still get well above the frames that I would love. Yeah, the whole reason that they're so sought after right now is because it's such an improvement over last generations. I mean, given the 3070 is just as powerful as a 2080 Ti, and a 3060 Ti is just as powerful as a 2080, or in some cases, depending on the manufacturer, 2080 Super. So that's a heck of a statement. And you're paying $400 where last year you were paying $1,300 for a 2080 Ti. So, I mean, that's a pretty big difference. Almost $1,000. That's $800 difference. So that's one reason why these things are so sought after right now, and scalpers are taking advantage of that. Yeah, and I mean, both AMD and NVIDIA have made statements saying that they are going to be working on getting more outs, working on ramping up production. We don't know when, we don't know how long that's going to take, but hopefully mid January, mid February, they start pumping them out. I'd like to get one closer to my birthday, because that's my birthday, March. So I'd like to see that happen, but who knows? Who knows? And yet another shortage. Xbox and PlayStation 5 and Series X. Now the Series S, I've heard, is actually a lot easier to obtain, just because it's not as sought after as the highest end. Like PS5 and Series X, those things are not available. At work, I get so many people coming in and asking for the newer consoles, and I mean, it sucks that I have to tell them we can't get them and that they're not going to be available for probably another few months, just because Sony and Microsoft just don't want to allow us to sell them in stores, and shortage of consoles is very, very high. But the shortage isn't as bad as like the GPUs. For instance, 3080s, 3090s, 3070s, 3060s, those things are like gold right now. We got one in work for a customer, and we all flocked to the back just to look at the box. I mean, I did install one, a 3090 that my manager was lucky enough to get. I installed one in his computer, and it was nice. Like, it thing's monster. It's huge, about this big, that thick, that wide. It's a monster. But yeah, it's definitely not as bad as the GPUs. But yeah, right now, like I said, Sony and Microsoft don't want us to sell them in stores. Like, if we get some in, we're not allowed to put them out. We're not allowed to tell people we have them. We're not allowed to sell them in the store. We're not allowed to buy them. If we see one in store, we're not allowed to touch them. We're allowed to set them in the lockup and leave them alone, because they don't want us to sell them. And I've like had my brother and a bunch of friends say that they've seen them in Walmarts and stuff. And like, I actually know a person that lives in Canada. She's a manager of Walmart. They can't sell them. So something's going on with that. I don't know, but hopefully stuff on that gets rolling and a lot more stock becomes in. But They have been releasing waves of them, so keep your eye out. Go to bestbuy.com, hit save for later, and as soon as it comes in, it's going to notify you. But yeah, let me know if you guys got one. Let me know if you got one for Christmas. Let me know in the comments below. All right, we're gonna talk about a small, kind of big elephant in the room. The biggest game launch of the decade, and y'all know what I'm talking about, Cyberpunk. It was, let's say, it was a letdown. It was a big letdown. Me, I personally haven't had very many like issues with it. There have been like stuttering bugs and things like that. For instance, whenever I go to edit my character back out, I'll have like, my frames won't drop, but I'll have like judders and stutters and stuff like that going on. But all I do is pause it and get out and it works. But for consoles, it was horrible. It was horrendous. There was lawsuits. There's stuff going on that Project CD Red just didn't see coming. I mean, they probably did just because they knew the game wasn't fully finished. So they knew something was going to happen. But yeah, let's just all get past it. I mean, the console launch sucked. It had bugs and glitches and that needed to be ironed out beforehand, but they did just release a big update. Hopefully you guys got it and you did see some improvements. I didn't see any improvements in ours just for PC just because, I mean, it wasn't that much to fix in the first place. But hopefully you guys got your bugs and issues fixed so you can at least play it. Like I said, I have a 2070 Super. I have an i7 9700F, not the K variant, unfortunately, but I get about 50 to 70 frames on max settings on 1080p, so I'm okay. And all the people that I see that play it on PC at work and stuff like that, they have no issues. But yeah, it's just been a struggle on console. But hopefully everything gets worked out. I did see that Microsoft, they were like, whenever the game first released, they were overran with calls saying they want a refund, but also still wanting to keep the game. Now, come on, guys. You can't expect a company to let you keep the game if you want a refund. Me, as a sales associate at a big company, if someone comes in unhappy with a product, we're not gonna let them keep the product and give a refund. That's not how that works. I mean, if you're unhappy with it, don't keep it. It's just, this is how it works. But Sony completely pulled it from the PlayStation Store and issued refunds, which I really do agree with. If you got a hard copy, you could take it back to GameStop. If you bought it from GameStop, they'll give a full refund. Best Buy hasn't said anything about it. I don't think they will. But Project CD Red, apparently, even with all the returns and refunds, they still sold over 13 million copies. I stand corrected. 13 million copies. That is nuts. But there are a lot of big lawsuits with investors saying that the game wasn't as promised, that wasn't as advertised. Things that got said just weren't entirely true. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Project CD Red learns from this mistake and changes and does better as they go forward. All right, on the topic of video games, Among Us, that was so popular in the month of November and December. Just in that month alone, they had over 500 million players playing it. I mean, thanks to all the YouTubers and all the streamers and everything making that game as big as it is, they've been able to develop, they've been able to change and add stuff. Mods have came out like the proximity chat, which I think is really cool. H2O Delirious, Cartoons, Squirrels, Dead Squirrel, Omewrecker, Gorillafence, all of them have been playing it, and I actually had somebody at work that has never watched H2O Delirious like I do see one of his posts and just start watching like crazy. So it's really cool that a game that wasn't a AAA title has become so popular. I think that's awesome, and I want to see more of that. So if you guys have a game that's not a AAA title or a indie game that you want me to try or stream next or create a video on, let me know in the comments. Smash this like button if you do enjoy playing Among Us, if you really enjoy watching YouTubers, things like that, because it helps us out a lot too. So I mean, if you guys love it, go give your YouTuber a big thumbs up on their next gaming video. Not just me, because I support everybody. I mean, I started watching H2O Delirious about 2 years ago, cartoons about a year ago, and I love them. I love their channel. I'll always support them because they're great guys. They're awesome. All right, so another cool thing, because like so you know how like Xbox and PlayStation, you can always share your game profile and let people play your games and stuff. Well, now they have Xbox, what was it? Game Pass Ultimate can be multi-user now, so you can actually have multiple accounts, like a family account with Game Pass, and you can share that with people, which I think is really cool. I don't know entirely when it's going to come out. I'm gonna have to look into it more, but yeah, they're going to be doing a multi-user account for Game Pass Ultimate. So all those games, all those features, you're going to be able to take full advantage of, which is really cool. Why not? But I mean, yeah, with everything going on right now, I think that's a good idea because it gives people that can't see each other the option to play with each other. So you can play games together and chat and talk, and even if you're not with each other, not in the same room, it's pretty nice, especially in these trying times. It's really nice. And off the topic of video games now, we're going to talk about the iPhone, the new iPhone 12, which caused me to switch. So that's that the iPhone 12 series is now the biggest 5G phone ever. 5G hasn't been out that long, so it's not like a huge statement, but it is really cool that the iPhone 12 series has become the biggest 5G phone period right now. I mean, then again, it is iPhone, and it's one of the most popular smartphone manufacturers and smartphones out there. But the claim came from, who was it? Yeah, Counterpoint Research. Let's see. It says the market share of 5G phones is 16% for the iPhone 12 and 8% for the iPhone 12 Pro. So I mean, that's a large amount for just one single phone. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, kudos to you, Apple. Kudos to you. I mean, I'm not an Apple person, not an Apple fanboy. Like I said, I'm not going to be buying the AirPods Max. I'm not going to be buying the what was it? The HomePod Mini. That one. I'm not going to be buying the HomePod Mini because I don't like Apple that much. I just like the camera on the phone. Stay tuned for a video of me doing that. I just need to find some new tech that I can first of all afford, because I pay for all my own tech. I don't get any handouts yet, at least. So stay tuned for the next video, because I will be putting one out soon on another product review. But yeah, I am guilty of going to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So let me know what you guys run, if you're Android or iOS. Team Android, Team iOS. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. And another Apple release is the new MacBook, the M1 series. And I will admit, they kind of very surprised me with this one. The Apple Silicon is amazing. Before, when at work, I wouldn't necessarily be thrilled to recommend a MacBook to someone, just because, I mean, you can spend $800 on a like a Lenovo Yoga series, or a HP Envy series, or a Dell series, and get the same results. It's just Apple is a little bit better optimized because it's all close knit. But now, and they were using Intel, but now with the M1 and the way that their cooling works, it is amazing. I mean, with the M1 chip, you're getting the same performance of the last year's MacBook Pro i7 in a MacBook Air price. So that's really cool. You're getting some really good numbers out of those things. They apparently, because everything is shared on the SoC, the system on a chip, so everything is shared, so you get a lot faster transfer between it, as far as like RAM and CPU. All the cores don't have to run their stuff through the memory and then back through to the other cores. They all kind of like work together, so it works great. It does a very good job. So I am very excited what happens next with Apple Silicon, because apparently they're working on a DSLR, or like a camera, working on a car. So the M1 is actually probably going to be the next step in Apple's computer generation. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. But yeah, this has been a tech episode from Newts. Thank you guys for stopping by. Until next time, love y'all. Stay blessed.